that effect.
Yeah, I mean, you're right, is the thing. Okay. Alright, I got this going.
Okay.
We've already watched through a majority of it, but like, do we want to restart it just for reaction's
I
sake?
mean, you can, but you'll not get fresh commentary from me.
Uh, that's fine. I don't care. We can
Yeah,
skip
I'm
the
gonna mute,
introduction because we know what's happening. I mean, you.
mute the stream for a little bit.
Residents of Eastridge County were left baffled today at the news of a supposed break-in that happened in the early hours of the morning. The break-in occurred at the local Halloween retail store, Grimzo's, with the culprit of this break-in having stolen one thing, and one thing only.
Yeah, so I got to the store early this morning and I see, of course, the
I'll-
door is smashed to a lot of pieces. Obviously, I checked inside and all the shelves are everywhere. Everything's smashed up pretty good. Buddy's still there though, so I guess that's good. The only thing that seemed to be missing was a costume for the world. Don't know who takes just a costume.
This bizarre set of events has left many residents baffled as to what the intentions behind
Yeah,
this strange robbery.
I couldn't tell what he was saying fully, but like we know it just stole a costume.
Mm-hmm.
Again, that's drives home the point. This thing is intelligent.
Were. No security footage could be collected to reveal the identity of the culprit, leading many to speculate who this mysterious costume thief really is. Were they under the influence? A young teenager desperate to have a costume for an upcoming party? Did this robbery even happen? As of right now, it's anyone's guess.
I'm not sure exactly how many teenagers would. I mean, present company potentially excluded. How many teenagers actually want to get dressed up for Halloween? Again, present company excluded, because I got super excited when I moved up here and some of my friends were all like, oh yeah, we're going to have a Halloween sleepover and get dressed up and go trick or treat. And I was like, wait, what? So,
like that's the thing that you do.
But again, you know, I'm pretty sure there's some teenagers out there who would be like, that's super lame. You know?
I tended to go out for trick or treating, but unless like more or less pushed to, I didn't really put much effort into costumes.
My neighborhood, the people that knew us, that like knew me and the rest of the teenagers that lived there, it was just like, yeah, come by, get your candy.
Yeah, I mean, one time, literally, I just put on some like slightly tattered clothes and used lipstick to draw some blood on my face, and then just walked around like a zombie.
I mean, that works.
Nice.
It worked. I also immensely regretted it afterwards because, as it turned out, which obviously I did not know for lack of experience, but lipstick is actually really annoying to remove.
It is. Oh yeah, it is.
So yeah, if I had known that beforehand, I don't know, I might have improvised something else. I might have done it the same anyway, but
fake blood is very easy to make.
yeah, but that was me acting on my own when I was like 14. Do you think I was gonna make fake blood in the kitchen or what?
To be fair, you can also just go to a store, a Halloween store, or well, I don't know. I don't know how it works in Germany. Oops,
Yes,
I just outed you. I'm sorry, but
yeah, well, what do I care? Like, but
sorry,
my name is JH the German. It's not a big
fair,
secret. Okay?
But yeah, you can,
no, it's
any
not.
place that sell any place. Okay, then I was gonna say any place that sells Halloween stuff, you can go and buy like a jug of fake blood too. Trust me, I have one sitting around right now.
Just casually has a jug of fake blood.
Yeah, that assumes planning. Like I improvised the costume on the day.
Yeah, fair enough.
Look, I used to make TikToks, and there were one or two that would have involved needing some fake blood. And it happened to be around Halloween. So guess what I did? I went out and bought some fake blood. Sue me.
Just get this mental image now of like my mother coming home from a shopping trip. It's like, oh, Jage, what are you doing in the kitchen? Like, I'm making blood.
Yeah, fair.
It's really it is really funny because if you get it the right consistently, it kind of like sticks into like the cracks and scars and like crevices of your face, and that just like that really works to your advantage if you know how to use it. Like there's like somebody who actively makes a lip tint, like a lip stain, that is intentionally used for like enhancing the cracks in your lips, and I just like, oh, I need that. But anyway, back to Thing.
Yes.
Oh, if you ask me, this whole story is just a bunch of malarkey.
Oh yeah, it's ADHD,
Some
dude.
kids breaking
It's
some
t- it's
Halloween
abso-
shop
yeah.
with a costume. Yeah, no, not even stealing money. If kids break
It's
in,
like an
they're
NPC in his idle animation. Like,
It's just another trumped up
It really
story for a
is.
small newspaper.
But
feel
I
bad
also
for
fe-
saying it.
I don't know. I also feel like this would be me if I were being interviewed like this. I wouldn't be able to hold still.
I mean,
I'd be
true.
gesticulating like mad, but at least my upper body would stay static.
I kind of agree with that. Like, I feel like these, like, I do kind of feel like the interview acting is, like, it's about as natural as it gets.
For an uneventful town, when the newspaper
It's not
company's
hard to act
probably
in
running
interview now,
broke
is
in
it?
a few months.
You'd be surprised.
I wouldn't trust a single bit of it. Pretty much nothing from that newspaper can be trusted anyway. Oh.
I mean, he's acting kind of nervous.
Yeah. Well, wouldn't you be a little bit nervous if you were thrown in front of a camera?
Well, yeah, true. I mean, he did kind of. See, here's my thing. Is this guy actually skeptical, or is he just a conspiracy theorist in disguise?
To think, they said our small town representative was corrupt. Now,
Whether you believe this ridiculous story or
I
not,
mean, okay,
one
yeah,
thing is
he's
certain.
conspiracy
Do
theorist.
not trust anyone you see wearing this costume on Halloween night.
Here comes the creepy
Eastridge
shit.
County has been left in a state of panic and disarray this Halloween night after the disappearances of 6 young children in the area. The disappearances began at 6 o'clock sharp, with reports telling me that they continued through the night until finally coming to a stop exactly 1 hour later.
it all just happened so
Hey,
fast.
it's the man.
1 minute we're having a regular Halloween night, everyone's trick-or-treating like normal, and next thing you know, here comes a mother around the corner who's looking for her kid. So we're all trying to help her out. You know, we're looking up and down the streets for where this kid went. We don't think anything of it. And then another mother comes over and she has the same problem. And then another and another, and next thing you know, everyone starts to panic. The police are getting involved. Nobody knows what's going on. Nobody knows where these kids went, and nobody knows who did it.
The names of the
Can I just say that I love that guy's voice?
It is a nice voice.
I love this man's voice. Like,
Also, I hate to say it, but it's not hard for small kids to wander off and get lost. That's part of the scary part of this is,
it's like
it,
you.
it is not hard to lure small kids away sometimes. It really
Yeah.
isn't.
Yeah, that's the creep. Like, irregardless of the fact that it's a creature, obviously, luring
Mhm.
these kids away. It's just like it could very easily be a person.
You really could.
missing children are as follows: Jason McDonald, John Thompson, Ashley Wright, William Lewis, Norman Harris, and Sam Wilson. Police have spent the better part of the night searching for both these children as well as the culprit behind this heinous crime. While no one in the local area has been suspected yet, an eyewitness report described the culprit as wearing an orange, striped costume with horns, a tail, and a black mask depicting bright yellow eyes and teeth. It's advised that all residents of Eastridge County avoid anyone seen outside who fits this description.
I wonder who drew that.
I know, right?
Yeah, it looks like
Child by the looks of it.
it does kind of look like a child's drawing, actually.
It really does.
I wonder if that was the intention, if that was
Like a friend of one of the kids was with them and saw them get approached and was like, "Oh no."
So deciding to draw.
It's a very easy way to make something seem creepier than it usually would be, is to add, because it's the dissonance. Children tend to not draw incredibly creepy shit. So when there's a creepy childlike drawing, there's a mental dissonance here. Uncanny Valley. So there you go.
Very true. And it is kind of, and it does kind of the thing where it fully makes it look like a costume. So like they're all under the assumption that this is just a dude in a costume. Okay.
As well as this, an officer on duty tonight had this to say regarding the matter.
It breaks my heart to hear the horrible tragedy which has come over our town tonight. I promise, not only as an officer on duty, but as a father myself, that these children will be found and the culprit behind these horrible kidnappings will be brought to justice.
Ugh. Hold on. I just noticed that.
These children will be found and the culprit behind these horrible kidnappings will be brought to justice.
There.
Ooh.
There. Do you see it? Do you see it right there?
Yep. Also, all of the people in these pictures look incredibly weird.
That's a thing with analog horror. They always have like a warped look, but like look at that shit. Like you can see that. Like there's eyes, there's a nose right there, there's teeth.
Yeah, that's just a full frontal face. That's a skull.
That's so fucking creepy. Oh my god,
It's
dude.
a skull.
As police
That is
continue
so
to
fucking
investigate,
creepy.
Several mandates have been put forward in order to ensure the safety of Eastridge County residents. It is requested that all residents stay indoors, keep all doors and windows locked, and it is heavily advised to not trust anyone you see wearing this costume.
That was another
face in the background there.
That was another
wait,
thing.
what?
Oh, that was another thing.
Look in the background.
Right there.
Huh.
There and there.
Yeah.
Eyes, maybe?
It's the same face. It's going to show up in just a bit. Like, oh, you have to see it again in greater detail.
In greater detail. And all of its segmented
PowerPoint intro.
How much do you want to bet that was actually made in PowerPoint?
I would
That
laugh.
looks like the sort of thing that I would have animated in 8th grade.
I mean, hey, it does give it that kind of 80s feel.
Of like, woo, technology, cool, right?
Ooh, ah.
I like it. I personally like it.
Oh,
I think
yeah,
it's
no,
goofy. I think it's goofy
It
as
adds
hell, but I
to
love
it. It's just funny for us, you know.
You know, power of hindsight.
All right. I am gonna okay. Let's look at that. Let's look at this. Is there anything in this photo?
Top left.
Yeah, top left.
Top left. That's a sign.
Oh, is it?
That's
Oh.
a sign. Yeah, that's a store sign. Like you got that like.
I mean, besides that, no.
I think this is made in like a 3D model program. Which pretty well done.
Yep, there's nothing else is weird.
No, nothing weird.
Yeah, trashed store.
Nothing weird that I can see.
Dark.
Yeah, it's too dark to see.
dark.
I would think that there would be like something hiding, like right,
Can you
like
skip up to
around
the first
here.
one? I want to look at the timestamp. Right, so 6 minutes passed between those two, which is actually a fairly realistic amount of time.
Indeed.
Items appear thrown around and damaged, and first contact.
Ah!
Freaky
Not
as
as creepy-
fuck.
Not as creepy
the
as the
second
first time, I'll admit, but still just a little like,
Yeah, like,
very
Ugh.
disconcerting.
Very
Very
di-
disconcerting.
Very, very disconcerting. I agree. It's-
I am the pillar of nonchalance in this group.
You are.
We know.
You
We know.
have to admit though that it's creepy.
I kind of, yeah, in a vacuum, but like if obviously if I saw something like this, I'd be freaking the fuck out. But
Well, yeah.
it's not real, is it?
I would hope not.
One would hope.
I don't just hope, I fucking know.
what surprised me about this is that we don't get a timestamp for that photo. Like, we get a timestamp for this, and the timestamp for the other one. Why don't we get one here?
Oh, that is interesting.
Like, this, like, so it's implied that this is taken by a security camera. Like, this thing got close enough to a security camera that, and you're getting timestamps on the security cameras. Why isn't there a timestamp here?
Yeah, also, look at the image on the left. Even without the lamps on, everything is clearly visible. Why is it pitch black in the right one?
Yeah, like, what's going on here? What is going on here?
Bless
Is this,
you.
like, I almost want to say that this is just an artistic, this is just an artistic thing, but it's still,
It's too detailed compared to the other artistic renditions.
Yeah, it's just, I think, like, I think this is just a thing of, like, like, whoever made this wanted this to be the full focus and not have this noise in the background, which, fair enough, but, like, I don't know, maybe have something alluding to the fact that this thing is, like, right up in the fucking camera, even if it was just a timestamp. But this is nitpicky. It's still creepy as all fuck. I hate that. I hate that so much. I want to know who drew this. Like, I would, because it really kind of makes it look like they were trying to copy this. And I'm just like, ugh, disturbing. Ugh, sounds, I don't like it.
I guess the reverse sound effect.
The sound that makes it sound like they're
Reversing
choking.
music. Like reversing elevator music, basically, just makes it incredibly uncanny.
It does. Alright.
After multiple years of extensive mental and physical therapy, Officer Kruger, a surviving victim of the demon, was finally able to inform detectives of the events that transpired on the night he came face to face with this dangerous creature. With the information he provided.
And the text-to-speech voice too. And you said turn it down?
No, just prepare to, because you've already turned it down. But
well, I've already turned it down.
Yeah,
we now have a better understanding of the capabilities of this threat and how our personnel can combat it. Firstly, the creature appears to be capable of causing both visual and auditory hallucinations to those that are within close proximity to it. This makes it incredibly difficult to locate and contain the creature. As a precaution against this, all ECPD personnel must operate alongside a fellow officer at all times. If you are alone at any point, attempt to locate your nearest fellow officer as quickly as possible. Do not let the demon fool you. Grab a hold of the nearest object you can to discern your surroundings. If you see or hear someone you know nearby, it is not them. Once you have located a fellow officer, vacate the area until the effects of these hallucinations begin to fade away.
Okay.
Secondly,
it's harder to fool two people at once.
True.
Especially, you have to fool them with the same thing. Otherwise, they might notice the discrepancy if they communicate.
Well, that's the thing. That kind of implies that it's difficult for the East Ridge demon to actually fool multiple people at once.
I mean, yeah, if you look at the dude next to you and he's reacting to something that you can't see, then you know shit's up, you know?
Yeah.
And you can, like, tap him on the shoulder and go, hey, whatever you're seeing there ain't fucking real, dude.
Yeah, just, like, snap next to the ear and just, like, hey, no.
Abnormalities which are still being treated to this day. The most significant of these abnormalities include discoloration of the skin.
Discolored skin. Severe weight loss. Tightening of the skin. Using of bone and flesh. I did this one in particular.
Blech.
Blech.
Yeah, like the science brain or like the fuck.
And the the teeth. Ugh,
Why
I
is
hate
it always extra teeth? Why is it always? It feels like it's like extra teeth. Like why?
Hey,
just-
let's add on a real life horror element. That's a real thing.
That's
Teeth.
true.
It's
There are
true.
tumors that can grow teeth
I forgot
anywhere.
about that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
forgot about that. Thank you. Thank you for
And you
reminding me.
can end up with extra tooth buds in your mouth.
Ah.
Yeah, also there's these things called wisdom teeth that have been plaguing humanity for quite a while now because our jaws
Yeah.
aren't big enough for the fucking things anymore.
Well, those are like that's evolution. That's not like
Yeah, like honestly, that's once we figure out gene editing, figure out which gene is responsible for wisdom teeth and just remove it, please.
mhm. That's what I'm saying. Okay, precautions.
Imperative that all ECPD personnel attempt to keep a level of distance from the demon at all times. Do
No
not
shit,
attempt to
Sherlock.
approach it unless it is absolutely necessary, or it has been
Again,
terminated.
why
In
would
the
you?
event that physical
If you can
contact
get
is
it from
made,
long
approach the
range, do
fellow
it.
officer as soon as possible and seek help.
I just snipe the damn thing.
Hey, I mean, tell me I'm
Honestly,
wrong.
if it's that big of a threat, yes, a sniper would do it. But ideally, if that's like a straight up demon, it's supernatural and it's dangerous.
Well, it
You go
doesn't even have
like
to be a sniper. I'm
like,
just
no,
saying a gun can reach pretty good distances, a normal one.
if you want to be really absolutely certain, you like type in some numbers like, "Hello, U.S. military, can you lend us a fighter jet?" Like,
It's a fighter jet.
Fighter jet.
like literally, you have something in the air because that will have an easier time spotting the fucking thing.
Mm.
You paint the target and you drop like, I don't know, a fucking ground air to ground missile on it. Like
Assuming
that can
will
destroy
fucking
a
kill
modern
it.
battle tank. It can most certainly destroy whatever the fuck this is.
Let's assuming that this thing is even like killable. Like if you could kill
Yeah,
it.
if it isn't, then it doesn't actually matter what you're doing. But if it is killable, then you might as well go for overkill.
Yeah.
Might as well
Make
at that
sure
point.
it's dead.
End up with
Yeah.
a big ass fucking crater at that point.
I mean,
Yeah, would you rather a crater or the thing still be alive?
Fair enough.
crater.
Crater.
Finally, it is important that all ECPD personnel remember that the Eastridge demon is incredibly intelligent and is aware that it is being hunted.
I want to know when it became aware that it was haunted, though.
Also, I hate when people use the phrase extremely intelligent because it doesn't actually say anything. Like, intelligent for what? A human, an animal, a demon? What measure are we using?
I mean, we at least
That would
know
explain
that
how
it's
it might know it was being hunted if
That's
it's
true.
in quote unquote intelligent. It's.
I mean, it displays enough degree of intelligence to like steal shit and hide itself.
Yeah, congratulations, you have achieved basic human intellect.
Yep.
Obviously there was more that happened in the encounter with Officer Kruger that they became aware of this thing's intelligence, but how intelligent is extremely intelligent?
Yeah, like because extremely in and of itself says very little, and intelligence is hard to quantify. So what you would prefer to do is to list in what ways it has proven itself to be intelligent.
True.
Instead of just saying it's intelligent, because like, okay, does that mean it sets traps, plans ambushes, hides really well?
Well, it's based on the way that it looks, I can assume that it's that it would be an ambush predator.
Yeah, but even then there are multiple types of ambushes.
True.
Does it wait for something? Does it stalk you and then come from the blind spot? Like all of those would qualify as ambushes.
So I know what the cartoony version of I'm just gonna call him Clyde because that's what his name is. I know what what Clyde looks like in the cartoony sense, but I don't know if that fully translates to what they went for in this. 'cause
Hmm.
he's big, he tall, he lanky, he long.
That also means he's probably fast.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just like, it's not out of the realm of possibility for him to be an ambush predator type of thing. But at the same time, he lures kids away. So that's obviously shows a degree of intelligence.
Well, it doesn't necessarily even have to be a lure. You can just wait until there's nobody around and then use those long arms of yours and yoink.
Yoink.
What are the kids going to do? Bite the hand?
I mean, they could.
Yeah, is it going to
Yeah.
do anything?
I don't fucking know, man. I don't know if this thing's got sensitive skin.
Yeah, alright. It needs its skin lotion, although the skin lotion is made out of, I don't know, children's spinal fluid or something.
God damn
That's
it,
why
dude.
that's why he kidnapped.
Oh, that's so
Ew.
fucking gross.
No.
That's so
Ew.
fucking gross, my guy.
It will
Ugh.
attempt to mislead you and will lurk for moments.
No,
when
I'm
you are most
traumatizing you more than the
vulnerable to
fucking
this creature.
I'm gonna need to watch something cute after this before I go to bed.
Okay, you know what? We were harping on like intelligent how, and it's literally telling us how this thing is intelligent.
Yeah, what we didn't get to there last time, did we?
No, we
Do
didn't.
not let it use its tricks against you. Do not let it touch you. Do not attempt to communicate with it. And above all else, do not trust anyone you encounter wearing this costume.
There's the creepazoid. Oh. Oh, look at that. Right there.
It's lurking.
He
It's
lurk- he-
lurking.
It's
lurk.
lurking. He lurk.
Was this necromancer?
I don't know. I know that movie is from somewhere. I don't know.
Isn't that like Ash and the Living Dead or some shit
Night
like
of the
that?
Living Dead?
I don't know.
I don't know, dude. I know it's something Living Dead. Owie. Oh.
Wee woo.
He linger.
All I can
He
think
linger.
is He linger. He lurk.
He lurk. You wait to attack? Oh no.
As Halloween night begins to set in, all residents of Eastridge County should be reminded that the Smiling Snatcher is out tonight. This monster is very real and threatens the safety of all Eastridge County residents.
And you turn him into a cartoon.
Yeah. But don't worry.
Don't worry, so long as these 5 simple rules
Literally
are followed,
immediately,
you have
don't
nothing
worry.
to worry about. Rule number 1. Remember the curfew. No trick-or-treaters should be outside past 6 o'clock p.m. That is when the Smiling Snatcher comes out to play. Rule number 2. Keep all doors and windows in your house locked. That way the Smiling Snatcher cannot come inside. Rule number 3. You do not hear the knocking at your doors or windows.
You're right, I don't.
Nope.
Oh, if only I had the knocking soundboard effect. This would be the moment.
Oh,
You
God.
would, you asshole.
Rule number 4. You do not hear the knocking at your doors. Rule number 4.
That was creepy.
Yep.
If you see or hear someone you know outside past curfew, that is not them. That is the Smiling Snatcher wearing their skin.
Excuse me?
What the fuck is this?
What the hell?
What the hell?
Sorry.
Wearing
Bless
Also, I
you.
just looked it up, by the way. The EAS alarm sound is Canada's EAS alarm sound.
Oh
Yeah,
my God.
well, yes. This is like they are a Canadian creator, so I'm not surprised.
I looked it up because I got curious.
Yeah, it just also like wearing your skin, wearing skin. How?
This is not a rare concept in horror,
It's
is it?
really not.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
like,
have you guys seen the Silence of the Lambs?
let's not
Yeah,
talk
that's
Just
about that.
saying. Just saying. That.
Ugh. Yeah.
Anyway,
Finally,
now that I've
important
creeped
rule of
Luca
all.
out.
Rule number 5. Do not trust anyone you see wearing this costume.
Yeah, I think we got that point by now.
I think so. Just driving it home, why don't you? Oh, freaky. Oh, freaky. Oh, shit.
Ah,
Ah.
I no like.
I no likey.
No likey.
No likey. Oh,
I feel
God.
like the cartoon in the foreground sort of diminishes the scary effect a little,
A
actually.
tiny bit, but at the same time, it's a little bit weird.
Oh, hold
Like-
on. Hold on. No, that's not it. I just fucking saw it. It was like one frame of... No. Fuck. Fuck, I'm not gonna be
One
able to
frame
find it.
of...
It was like one frame of that weird skull thing, I think.
Ah.
Like, it goes by so quickly, I don't think I can catch it.
It's okay. Don't.
Damn it.
Yeah, I guess I saw it, don't worry.
Yeah, I think I did too. You're good.
His eyes are getting smaller. I don't like it. I don't like it.
It's getting see-through.
Ah.
I was like hiding behind my microphone. Zachary Gignac. Ugh.
Delightful.
Delightful. Quite. Lyra Horrors did the OST. Nice. Well, what do we think?
I'm way too
You-
cynical to like actually get affected by something like this. Because I will just dissect it and go like, oh yeah, that's a good way to make things look more scary. Like, yeah, nice way they handled this. Like, I will just view this like as art, basically.
Yeah, it is art. It is
Understandable.
definitely
And then
art.
just like
It's-
pick it apart, you know?
Yeah.
It's just creepy enough to catch me, but at the same time, like some of the details, like all the rules and stuff, make me go, well, yeah. You know, it's not.
It's
You know,
it's very it's like one of those things that just like, yeah, that's obvious, but like I don't know. I think it was very well done.
I don't always
Like,
have
Oh, I
my-
agree.
Fuck off.
My brain always goes like, oh,
Runes loads
there
and
is
completes
there is
in a
supernatural bullshittery happening here.
There
Why
we go.
aren't we calling in the military?
Why call in the military for supernatural bullshittery?
If it's dangerous, then you call in higher force. Because if that doesn't work, then nothing will.
Yes.
Analog
Like,
horror
this is no
logic?
time for the step-by-step escalation. This is the sort of threat where you skip straight to the not literally but close nuclear option. Like,
Yeah.
you don't go sending 2 officers to go hunt some supernatural demon that can malform humans just by touch. You send in the fucking Air Force. You evacuate the area and then you flatten it.
Again, analog horror logic.
Yeah, again, that's sort of also why my immersion is way too easy to break.
Oh my fucking god! Can you just appreciate it for like the piece of
I
art
can
that
appreciate
it
it
is?
from an objective standpoint, but
Freaking cynical ass.
Have we distracted you enough?
Yeah, I've definitely been distracted.
Good, because I might have to leave you and JH to distract you more. I should probably try and get some sleep before work tomorrow.
Yeah, you go, shoo, get.
I'll love you too.
Good
sleep
night.
well.
You
Shut up.
freaky, freaky ass.
You dumbass. That was perfect though. You two have a good rest of your whatever time you do this. This was fun.
Yes.
It's 19 a.m.
Bye guys.
Bye. All right. Do you want to keep going with this, or do you want to call it?
Not particularly. I mean, if you want to keep going, but it's not exactly my niche now, is it?
It's whatever. I'm exposing you to art.
Fine, one more episode. Let's go.
This whole thing is just a bunch of malarkey. A bunch of kids going into some Halloween store to steal a costume? Yeah, no. If you ask me, this whole thing is just some trumped up news story for some small town.
Alright, cut. Come on. Do you think anyone's gonna believe this? We're trying to make a news story here, man. Come on. What do you mean
I fucking knew it.
we're running out of time? Fine. We'll use one of the older cuts.
Okay.
A feeling of sorrow has hung over Eastridge County this Halloween night after the unfortunate passing of the late Kenneth Kruger. Kruger was a dedicated and passionate officer who always put the people of Eastridge County before himself. He was not only a respected officer, but also a beloved member of our community and a caring father. Kruger's passing occurred late into the night, with officers discovering his body after they had received reports of his son, Klaus, being heard screaming from inside their home.
Close.
Yeah, what about it?
I don't know. There's just like,
Kruger is a German name, so
yeah, I figured.
usually also spelled with an umlaut, but I can see why the Americans would remove that.
This guy's not American, but okay.
Canadian then. Well, actually, he's still American because it's the fucking continent, isn't it?
If you want to get technical, then
Look, the difference between Canada and America, as you usually call it, is academic in most cases.
yeah, fair enough.
After arriving at the scene of the crime, they found his body hanging inside his son's closet. As well as his body, officers on the scene found this note left on his son's bed.
That is unreadable.
I can read parts of it.
I can also read parts of it, but not full sentences, so...
I think that's the
The
point.
disappearances that occurred last year affected Kruger more than any other officer on the case. He was very close to many of the families involved, giving him a sense of responsibility for solving the case. This quickly led to rage, sorrow, and regret, which eventually became too much for him to bear. Nobody was there to listen to Kruger in his time of need, but now we will make sure that his story is told. If you or anyone else you know are suffering from any mental health issues, don't hesitate to call this number and seek help.
Okay, subtle spooky.
It's just like that... like that you matter, don't give up being turned into you don't matter, give up meme.
Yeah. Also, red eye spooky.
Yeah.
Those dates are different.
Yeah, actually, now that you mention it, that's 9 more years. I remember the first one. He got the 31, and that one it's 40 here.
Yeah. Oh, you can see his
Presumably,
rib cage.
yeah, again, presumably, given the first video, they just declared him dead after he was malformed like that, and he only actually died years later, which would imply that some sort of higher agency took over the case, as would make sense with the supernatural.
Yeah.
Why won't you let me die?
Because I still have use for you yet.
Ugh. That is kind of freaky. And those are just credits. Short, but it's still
But like,
creepy.
it's the classic trope of sometimes keeping someone alive is worse than any sort of death you could grant them.
Yeah. It just, yeah.
You know, like again, my brain sort of dissects this into the tropes.
Yeah, there are tropes in there, but I think that they're done well. Like there are worse ways that this has been done.
Like it works, but
you were just too cynical for horror.
Well, no, I can absolutely get scared by like active horror. Again, I consider this more passive horror, which I can actually consume without any negative consequences. So I'm actually more likely to look at something like this.
Honestly, yeah.
But
I can see
there
that.
are, like in my brain, there are like effectively 3 types of horror. You have like active horror, which is jump scares and the like, cheap, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
You've got passive horror, which is this, that takes a lot more effort. But like it doesn't scare you by suddenly doing things. It sort of creeps up on you.
Well, there is a jump scare in there.
Well, yeah, but not a good one. And then there is true horror, which you will know when it happens.
Yeah, fair enough.
Basically, if you manage to write a story that is for me, true horror is when someone creates a horrifying story that is 120% plausible. And usually for me, it's almost a requirement if it's written in first person.
I'm wondering if that's something that like somebody has done before. I've not seen something like that. Like if it's 100% plausible that this could happen to you.
I find a lot of that stuff, like basically true horror is what I sometimes encounter when I read stories. I've vented occasionally to you.
You have, yes.
Because that's those moments where my brain sort of has this realization of, oh shit, this is entirely plausible. And could happen like this.
Mm-hmm.
And again, true horror only sets in when I realize the situation is inescapable.
True.
If there's a way to escape the situation, then my brain's like, oh yeah, no worries, you can still escape the situation. Like shit that had happened and all that, but don't worry. But if the situation is like actually bulletproof, I sort of shift gears and go into like half panic mode, even though I am not in the situation.
You put yourself in the shoes of the character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then when I realize there's no way out, my brain sort of goes, oh shit, there's no way out, time to panic. I'm like, I'm not even in trouble.
Yeah, it's effective horror, I will admit. What I like most about analog horror is just like it's all of the creativity that's surrounding it, like a lot of words, like the Mandela catalog, the like this obviously you've got Vita Carnus, like just all of that. I enjoy that because of the creativity that's surrounding it. Obviously, this shit like can't happen because you know, yeah, but it's still cool to see people come up with this stuff with like scary shit in mind.
Yeah. Like, I feel a very important component to my idea of true horror is also, if you're going to use fictional elements, it still needs to be a degree of realistic. You can't stack the deck in the favor of the horror. Like, if you just create like basically if you create an SCP, which, you know, humans tend to be fucked when going up against those. My brain just goes, well, yeah, obviously there's no chance here, and just doesn't even try. You need to make the situation just realistic enough that it looks like there might be a chance. You can despair even more when you don't find one.
Yeah, that's what I like. That's what I like doing when I make when I do my stuff, because it's just like, hey, like here, there's a way out. Oh wait, no, yoink.
Yeah, again,
No
like
way out for you.
there's only been a few cases where this like truly happened, but the one that I'm currently thinking of most was one story that made me realize, in a world with magic and immortality, being basically getting stuck in an eternal contract when you are immortal is horrifying.
True.
Because what are you going to do now? Like, GG, game over, reload save.
That would be interesting to kind of see in like this sort of setting. Like how could somebody take the concept of immortality and put it to something like this?
Well, I mean, horror immortality has plenty of opportunities for horror. Like,
Right.
plenty of fucking opportunities. You could go into the horror itself of being forced to be eternal while everything around you is fleeting. You could go into the horror of being immortal even after all life in the universe ends and just floating through an eternal void as the last thing in existence.
Yeah.
Also an option. You could go into how that would warp a human mind over time into something that would not even be recognizable to the original person.
Turning a human into an eldritch abomination.
Yeah, or just making people callous. You know, when you are immortal at some point, killing someone 10 years before they would have died, well, that's no big thing. It's just a decade after all.
Very true, yeah.
Like your mindset would shift with time. There's nothing you can do about it. Or you can add the fact of how, like, if immortality isn't a one-off thing, how do you stay immortal? Does it require sacrifice, perhaps? Plenty of opportunities.
Yeah. I think we should continue with this thing though. I'm invested.
And if you want to continue.
I am continuing. Leave me alone.
How many of these are there?
4.
And this is 3?
This is 3, yes.
Okay, yeah, I guess I could survive that.
You guess.
Yeah. I'll do it for you.
My hero.
Photo album, that's good. Plenty of opportunities here.
Uh-oh. Oh. Ew.
The fuck?
I don't like it. I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't like. Actually, yeah, this one is starting to encroach on uncomfortable for me too.
Oh, I don't like that. Ooh. Ew. I don't like. Yeah, we get more footage. Nope.
Sammy?
I don't like it.
Sammy, is that you?
Nope. No, I don't like it. I don't like it.
I'm right here, Sammy. You're gonna have to help me though, honey. I can't find you.
Nope. Nope.
I Discord went and fuck at me. What did I miss in those 5 seconds? Okay, I see.
Yeah, creepiness. Ugh. Oh, I hate it. Oh, I don't like it. Oh, I don't like it. They may not be human. No shit, Sherlock.
That's an unhinged statement in like any sort of circumstance, by the way.
Yeah, it is. Oh my god, I don't like. I don't like it. 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 Oh, this is unsettling.
Yeah.
Please send help. There's someone or something trying to get in my house. I don't know what it wants. No, I didn't get look at it. But I'm telling you, it's the demon. It took him, and now it's going to take me.
Oh, it's too quiet.
Mm-hmm.
It's too
I
quiet.
expect noise. I expect noise. But I
Oh,
will
I don't
still
like
be
it.
startled if noise suddenly comes.
Why? Why do you keep using his face? Why are you doing this to me?
Yeah, that could be done better.
Ew. I hate it. I hate it. I almost hate the fact that there was no jump scare more than I would have hated a jump scare at that moment.
Yeah, because that's what you expect, right?
Yeah, exactly. My heart, no. The only clear photo of the perpetrator.
There's no clear.
It's just a dude. It's just a dude with the sheet over his head. Ew. I hate it. I hate it. The voice they did for the kid, though, that was fuck. Ick. Massive ick. Alright.
Never scoop again, love letter robot.
Go away. I don't care. Fucking. Come on.
I don't always.
Come on. There we go. Normally I have to refresh a few times. Okay. This is an actual volume.
How long is it again?
23 minutes.
Oh, holy shit! What the fuck?
What do you mean, holy shit, what the fuck?
It's longer than all and the others combined. Like,
yeah, this is a massive undertaking.
The fuck? Contains flash noise, graphic depiction of vital and loud noises / jump scares. No, thank you.
Do you not want to watch this one?
I mean, not really. No, for several reasons at this point.
I
mean, one, it is long.
Yeah.
Two, contrary to popular belief, I do not actually like being scared.
I don't either.
Yeah, why do you watch horror then?
Because it gives me dopamine.
Like, I avoid horror usually because I do not like being scared. The previous ones I didn't really mind because they didn't scare me, but we are now verging into dangerous territory. So. Like, yeah, in hindsight, none of these were like, it's like A-grade writing horror or anything, but...
Hey, I thought it was good.
it's like good, you know, for amateurs, which these people are.
Ouch, dude.
Yeah, no offense, but they're regular people doing this at home.
Yeah, very true. I mean, with what they did have, that looks like.
Yeah, like it's impressively made, but like, I feel a lot more effort went into like the staging and the editing than into the writing. Because like the real thing here is just the presentation of your story. The story itself does not necessarily have to be good for the analog horror to be good.
See, that's where you're wrong.
Well, you consider this to be good, but I consider the story to not be that good. So
you also have different taste in stories.
Yeah, I have high standards.
High standards. You also have like, this is negligible information. Like, if I remember correctly, like this isn't even like 10% done.
My name is Alex Williams. I live on 66 Elk Crescent, Eastridge County, and up until this point, I've worked for the Lankman Foundation, a job which I have quickly come to regret. This is my story.
Oh, come on now, don't open like that. What the This is my story.
You got a problem with that?
I don't like the opening.
Oh, fuck all.
I began my work for the foundation pretty much the day it was founded. After what happened on Halloween, I was put under 24/7 witness protection. They told me that the information I had was too valuable. It felt like I was under constant house arrest. There wasn't a day that they weren't watching me, and it went on like that for years. They gave me my job at the foundation as a form of protection. A bunch of guys in suits showed up to my house and told me that it would be for the better if I took a job at their new facility. I didn't know much about them at the time. Nobody did, really. All they told me was that they were helping Veldigan victims, but even that felt vague.
Here we go.
The fuck is that logo?
You're just so judgmental.
Yeah, look, you brought this on yourself by keeping this running, okay?
Okay, fine, whatever.
Like,
Just
if
not.
you want to keep watching this, you have to deal with me in this mood now.
Okay, fine. I like the logo. I think the logo is cool.
Like, it's not a bad logo, but like, why?
Why the hell not? That's why.
You don't know me, but I certainly know you. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Lankman, or at least a cartoon version of the man himself, created by our lovely in-house animator, Mortimer Gray, who you may know for his work on the classic cartoon series Candy Mouse. I come to you all today to announce the founding of the Lankman Foundation, a new gateway into the future of Eastridge County. 4 years ago, our lovely town was plagued by a species of creature we have come to know as the Veldigan. These dangerous creatures have continued to threaten our residents, with there being seemingly no end to the dangers they pose. Until now, our lovely founder, Herbert Lankman, created our foundation for the purpose of both containing this anomalous threat, as well as treating all those who have been affected by them. How does he plan to do this, you ask? Well, the answer is quite simple. Using the inheritance left behind by his father, Herbert Lankman got to work renovating and reopening the old Lankman's asylum, repurposing it into a...
Of fucking course there's an asylum.
Yeah, why wouldn't you use the asylum for the sketchy work after all?
Absolutely. Just fucking...
a massive treatment center.
Is it next to a graveyard, perhaps?
I wonder.
Who have fallen victim to the Veldigan. As well as this, he has been hard at work donating generous amounts to Eastridge County's police force, ensuring they can continue to do what they do best, protecting all of you. Here at the Lankman Foundation, we know these last couple of years have been scary, but don't worry. Soon enough, this will all be a thing of the past. If you or anyone you may know have any questions regarding the Foundation and what we do not hesitate to give us a call.
That just reeks of corporate bullshit. I will not go on a rant about capitalism, but...
Can you stop with the fucking dial-up tone, please?
911, where is your emergency?
This is 45 Elk Crescent. Send the police, please!
Can you describe the situation to me, ma'am?
There's a group of men trying to break into my house. They're slamming on the door. Please send the police now!
The police will be on their way in a moment, ma'am. I just need you to breathe. Did you get a good look at these men? What did they look like?
I don't know what they look like. They're all wearing masks. I can't see their faces. They look all the same.
What kind of masks, ma'am?
Yellow ones. They're wearing yellow masks. They look like bandages. Hello? Hello? Is anybody there?
Silence. Where did the video footage suddenly come from?
I have no fucking clue, man. I don't like it.
after I started working at the Foundation, they immediately bombarded me and everyone else with all these different mandates and training tapes. Even for the most simple of jobs, there were rules for everything, and half the time they didn't even make sense. Perhaps the strangest mandate they had us commit to, though, was to wear these goggles at all times. They said it was a preventative measure to avoid the effects of some kind of hallucinatory environment. None of us knew what that was or how it was even possible. All they told us was that it would make you see and hear things, and that it was apparently used to keep patients in line. Something about treatment through exposure. We never really knew for sure if it was working, but all the patients seemed to suffer from similar symptoms that were said to be a part of it. They were always scared of us, no matter how much we tried to help them, and they always complained about hearing some kind of horrible music somewhere in the facility. What got to me the most about it, though, was how normal everyone treated it. Something beyond our understanding was being used on these people, and nobody seemed bothered by it but me. They all just treated it like it wasn't even happening.
Here in the Lankman Asylum, it is imperative for all staff members to be aware of our state-of-the-art hallucinatory environment. Through this unique environment, we are able to keep all patients within our walls in line, as well as treat their conditions through exposure that no other location can provide. The amount of benefits this new technology...
Exposure to what?
Hallucinations. Keep up.
We both know that it's not just hallucinations.
You can provide for the patients of our asylum is numerous, but you must remember that there are multiple precautions which have been put in place to ensure that you, our staff, do not suffer from the effects of our hallucinatory environment and can do your job correctly and safely. The first of these precautions should have been provided to you on your first day at the job, in the form of these specialized optical lenses. By wearing these red lenses, staff members will be able to see past the environment's effects, allowing for no mistakes to be made and a job well done. If at any point these lenses are to be removed, staff members will experience severe hallucinations which will make your work extremely difficult. The second of these precautions comes in the form of knowing what you should and should not be hearing when on the job. Although we have yet to develop a solution for auditory hallucinations, symptoms of them appear to follow a similar and predictable pattern. If you believe yourself to be hallucinating, ask yourself if you're hearing the voices of people that do not exist, distant music coming from an unknown location, Dr. Lankman requesting your aid, or the knocking of doors which do not exist. If the answer to any of these questions is yes, then you are hallucinating and should treat those sounds as if they do not exist. Moving on from our patented hallucinatory experiment, we next must discuss the role of another very important part of our facility. It is imperative that all staff members avoid any form of contact with
the caretakers were possibly the most disturbing part about working in that entire facility. They were these tall, bandaged staff members who were dressed in black from top to bottom. I don't even think I ever saw them outside of their uniform. We were always expressly told never to interact with them for any reason. Apparently their job was just that important. It was with them that I reached my breaking point when working at that damn place. I always saw them going into patients' rooms, taking them to places that I never got to see. I always wondered what they were doing, but I made sure to mind my own business. That is until late one night when I was working at the facility. They had just brought in a new patient, a woman who looked to be in about her 30s. She had no diagnosis, no sign of serious mental illness, and physically she was fine. None of us knew what she was doing there, but like we always did, we just ignored it and minded our own business. That night, though, she starts a ruckus. I think every person in the facility heard it when she started screaming. I was the first one to arrive when I saw what was happening. 4 of those caretakers dragging her out by her arms and legs while she's just kicking and screaming. I couldn't believe what I'd seen. I tried running in to stop them, but one of my coworkers stopped me, looked me in the eyes, and said, "It isn't worth it." I was in disbelief. These caretakers were treating Veldigan victims like caged animals, and here we were just standing there and watching. That was when I knew I had to do something about it. I always had my suspicions about the asylum, but seeing how this treatment facility treated its patients
That was the final straw. I went to as many of my coworkers as I could to try and get as much information as possible about the Foundation and their shady practices. I wanted to bring these problems to the light, to have the general public know what was really going on in there. But of course, none of them wanted anything to do with me. They just brushed me off and told me that it wasn't worth it, that it would bring more trouble. But I ignored them and I kept trying. When I ran out of staff to talk to, eventually I turned to patients, more specifically, the woman I saw getting attacked that night. I wanted to know where they took her, what they did to her. So I snuck into her room late that night with a camcorder that I brought, and I was able to record an entire interview I had with her, and I was just left with so many questions.
Please don't hurt me. I promise I'll behave. I don't want to go back.
Listen, I don't want to hurt you, I promise. I'm just here to ask a few questions is all. I'm sorry about what happened to you the other night. It was horrible. I want to try and make sure that doesn't happen again. And it would help a lot if you could answer my questions.
Okay.
Alright, thank you. Okay, so my first question. Why were you brought here? You didn't have any diagnosis, and you don't seem to suffer from any symptoms of Veldigan sickness.
I don't know why I'm here. These men broke into my house. Nobody came to help me. The doctor told me I'm sick, but I don't know what he means. I'm sorry if that doesn't help.
It's okay, don't worry. That helps a lot. You're doing great. Now, my next question. That night when you were attacked here, I know it must be a lot, and I'm sorry to bring it up, but do you know where they took you?
I don't know. He told me I can't tell anybody. I'm sorry, I can't tell you that. He said he would take me back there. And I don't want to go. I don't want to go.
Hey, it's all right. You're not going to go back there, I promise. I just need to know where it was. Nobody else will know.
Talking with the hands.
They took me to room 66.
What? No, that's not possible. There's only...
Oh.
Oil the door hinges, please.
He's going to take me back now. Please don't let me take him back.
He isn't going to take
Don't let him take me back. Don't let him take me back.
Quiet for a moment, don't...
Just what do you think you're doing?
Everything that happened was just a blur after that. Those caretakers came into the room and dragged her out before I could even do anything about it. It was the last time I ever saw her. And then they just sent me back to work as if the whole thing never even happened. That in itself was odd, but it was what she said to me that stuck out to me the most. She told me that she was taken to a room 66, which didn't make any sense. The asylum was small, it was only built with 65 rooms in mind, so a 66th room shouldn't be possible. At first I thought maybe she was misremembering things, or she was just misspeaking. I mean, she was clearly stressed out, and the way she was taken there was violent, but that just didn't explain things for me. I still didn't know where the patients were being taken, and what if she was telling the truth? I tried to look for answers to that question for a while, and nothing came of it. Nothing until I started to watch through our old conversations. During one of my watch-throughs, I saw something off the corner of my eye. Something I had never seen until it was staring me right in the face. A camera. A camera located right in the corner of that room. The asylum didn't have cameras, at least not in the rooms of its patients. If I had known they were watching me the entire time, I never would have staged that interview, and somehow I didn't see it? Something wasn't adding up. I went back to the asylum after that and checked the rooms of several patients. No cameras. I thought that I was losing my mind. I thought for a moment that maybe I was just seeing things. But then I realized something. Maybe maybe I was. Late one night when no one else was around, I tested something.
Theory, take
I
off the
was
glasses.
afraid to. I removed those goggles they gave us.
See? Called it.
When I opened my eyes, everything looked the exact fucking same. Everything started to make sense after that. Who knows what they could have been hiding that we just couldn't see? Cameras, people, rooms. Suddenly, room 66 was terrifyingly possible, and I was going to find it.
Ooh.
I returned to the asylum later that night with a camcorder in hand. I figured that if it could show me where the cameras were in the corners of the patients' rooms, then it could help me find what I was looking for. I walked up and down the halls of that entire asylum, trying to find anything out of place.
There it is.
And eventually, I found it. I stood in front of that door for what felt like an eternity. A part of me wanted to know what was in there so badly, but another part of me just didn't want to see it. I was terrified, but I felt like I didn't have a choice. It didn't even feel like I was in control of my own body as I pushed that door open.
Puppy.
Looks like someone wandered somewhere they aren't supposed to be.
In that moment, cornered and alone, I finally understood what they were so afraid of. I was finally seeing what they were seeing. For the first time, I saw his face. After that, I didn't know what to do. I panicked, I couldn't move. And he just stood there for a moment, staring at me. But then he let me go. He just told me to go back to work and act like it didn't happen. Work continued after that. I was too scared to find out what would happen if I didn't come back to the asylum, so I just continued my work there as normal. I was never punished, nobody ever found out. It was like the whole thing never happened. Until recently. The reason I'm recording this tape tonight is because I fear soon you may never hear from me again. For a while, Lankman acted like that night never happened, but ever since the recent incident, things have changed. He and the caretakers have become more aggressive. I've started seeing things. Cars passing me by with tinted windows, people following me off the corner of my eye, staff treating me like I don't even exist. Recently, it feels like they don't want me talking anymore. Someone I know and care about has been hurt, and they've given me a job that doesn't even fit my credentials. They've made me research somebody very dangerous, and I have my suspicions that once I've told them everything they need to know, they won't need me anymore. That's why I'm recording this tape. I've learned things about this person, things that Lankman doesn't even know, things that could help me. After I'm done recording this tape, I'm going to be meeting with that person, and depending on how that goes, you may never hear from me again. If you're watching this, I've left you something important. The last thing my friend was able to provide me with before they got to him. An archive of all the Foundation's most important tapes. It contains everything, every lie they've told, every secret they've kept, every recording I've made. If I don't come back from this, you need to spread that information. The people need to know. I don't want to go about this alone, but as things are, I've had no choice. It just feels good to finally get this off my chest.
Oh, open door. Darkness.
Uh-oh.
Oh no, actually they didn't go that route. That's almost impressive. Nope, actually they did. Never mind. Take the compliment back.
Oh, man. Okay. To be continued indeed. Alright, thoughts?
This might have worked if it was shorter. This is too long. You can't go this long and have a story this discordant and disconnected. Not enough info. Too many random pieces, and the story goes on too long for me to be able to ignore that.
Yeah.
Like a short clip is allowed to leave out major parts of the story because it's short, but this was long. There was lots of time, and yet this isn't even anything approaching coherent.
So where specifically did you feel like needed to be more information?
Because basically none of this was in any way, shape, or form explained yet. This was kind of a setup, but very obviously didn't actually go into any of the information that might have been necessary in places. Like, it is implied that there is information attached to this, this archive.
Yeah,
but either this archive doesn't hold any answers, in which case the fuck's the point of it, or the archive does hold the answers, and this person just decided to go, oh, well, you find out yourself, fuck you.
So, that is where this comes into play?
Well, let me read.
I am simply going to do that, though, because I enjoyed it.
Huh. The fuck? That answers no questions.
It is something to think about, though. And probably is going to be the setup for the next volume.
Again, this is a setup, but without the payoff, this is just confusing.
So from the way that I understand it, it's one massive volume plus two shorter volumes that kind of fill in the gaps. I believe that's how they wanted to set it up when I was originally doing research into this.
Also, considering the quote
Your mic dropped there for a second. Hello? Oh, god damn it. Is it me? I seriously hope it's not me. Ugh. Hello? Oh, fucking hell. I'm gonna just, do that. I'm not off. Do. Hello? What in the hell? Oh, it was.
Did it fix itself?
I think it fixed itself, yeah. I thought it was me.
Yeah, no. By the time I realized that the issue was on my end, Discord was too broken to communicate with you. So you can now have 2 messages on Instagram.
Okay, then, good to know.
Yeah, okay, now my messages arrive. Thank you. Yeah, so Discord just decided to fuck you for a bit.
Oh, isn't that annoying? Okay. So what were you saying before things went fucky?
Oh yeah, the quote-unquote plot twist of that demon thing, whatever the fuck it was.
Mm.
You know, that would have worked better if they'd saved it until like the next episode. Because if you introduce a character in an episode and you get almost zero information about this character, and then you go, oh, but this character is actually a demon, it's like, okay, cool. I didn't know this guy. Like, yeah, again, this is just my high standards complaining, but
I think it's also because the way that most analog horrors are told, like, it's very segmented. Very much, like, pieces broken apart, scrambled, and then being thrown back together.
yeah. Also, it reminds me a bit too much of like SCP in the sense that it's creepy for the purpose of being creepy. Like, if I get the feeling the only reason this creepy aspect is part of your story is because it's creepy, then leave it out. It should make sense. You know, there is such a thing as trying too hard when it comes to making things creepy. And I feel that was the case here because the asylum sort of ticked way too many boxes on the creepy list.
Well, that's true.
Like, the
That's
plot twist
true.
with the goggles, that was well done. I can respect that writing there. That was actually nicely executed.
Yeah. I mean, you guessed it, but...
I guessed it, but, you know, the fact that my brain, with its, like, high standard autocomplete guessed it, is a compliment in and of itself. It was a good plot.
It was good. I agree with that. I like the direction that it's going. I'm somebody that can see into the future with this. I like it. I think it's a really, really good. It's just good. Like, there are ways that this could have gone horribly, horribly bad, but
Yeah. You know what? Honestly, the scariest part in all of this for me is just the casual police corruption.
oh yeah, true, that is a thing, isn't it?
Yeah, like that's the true horror right here. Because when the police are in on it, what are you going to do?
True. Yeah,
That's the true horror here. Like, there could have been a perfectly normal asylum and it would have still been scary. Someone just got committed to an asylum, forcefully, called the police about it, and they didn't do anything. That's the true horror.
Yeah, that is really freaking creepy. Like, I noticed that with the 911 call. It was just like, okay, 911, what's your emergency? Yeah, these very specific people in these very specific masks are trying to abduct me. Oh, click.
Mm.
Like, can't do anything about that. I'm gonna go on my lunch break.
Yeah, again, just that is one of the things that for me is like one of the steps in the direction of true horror, is just having the official authority basically be in on it, makes everything more horrifying.
Yes, it does.
Because
I
when you think
agree.
about it, in the modern day, even like nowadays, if all levels of authority are in on it, you are fucked. And that's horrifying.
Yeah.
That is why I'm thankful that corruption on that scale would sort of collapse under its own weight of incompetence, and is therefore unlikely. But on a low scale, like say one county, this is possible.
True, very much so.
The lower end of the corruption scale is a lot easier to hide than the higher end. Basically, the higher up you are, the harder it is to hide that you're corrupt.
Mm-hmm. All right, so
Like
what
a
did you make?
single... Hmm?
No, keep going. Keep going.
Yeah, like a single police officer can be corrupt, and it's very difficult to tell. It's just one dude.
Uh-huh.
But like the regional police chief, it's a whole different matter because he's got a whole bunch of people underneath him that might notice if shit's weird.
Right. So,
And like,
what?
yeah.
Keep going. Keep going.
No.
Just tell me. No, just tell me when you're done.
Yeah, I'm just rambling at this point. But like one police dispatcher, it's very easy to hide.
Mm.
Especially in a small county.
Mm-hmm.
Because likely they do not have that much of a division of duty, which means this one corrupt officer can do a lot of damage if he wants to. And we don't know if there's more than one.
Yeah. Operating on the assumption that it's only one, like, it's obviously not one because like this is a 911 dispatcher. Like they're taking orders from a higher up.
Well, no, they could have gotten this particular dispatcher because it's a small county. They might not have more than one at a time.
What's the average? Hold on.
Yeah, this would require more in-depth knowledge, but all you really need is the people that take the calls. You don't actually need the officers. If they never go out to respond, then they don't need to be in on it. But I do also, one thing I have to praise, the voice acting in the phone call.
Yes.
Good emotion.
Yes. Oh my god, she did so good. Like, just ah! What more can I say? Incoherent screaming. That is all I know after hearing that voice acting. I was going to ask what you thought of Lank Man himself.
In what way?
Like just like him as a character.
There's a blank slate. We know jack shit about that character yet. I can't actually make a judgment call yet because we don't know anything.
Well, okay. So I was able to make connections with voices. So like in Loving Memory there is a segment at the end where Kruger was asking a dude like, why are you still doing this to me? And the person who was talking to him saying that he was still useful, but like I assume is Lankman because of the voice?
Possibly, yes. So he's a shady scientist.
He's a shady scientist, yeah. Who
Okay, yeah,
apparently
common
has
enough.
who apparently has a big ass demon hiding in a closet.
Or he is the big ass demon.
Or he is a big ass demon.
Because that's how I interpreted it. He is the fucking demon.
See, I would interpret that, but the camera panned away from the big ass demon.
So, do you need to look at someone to hear them?
I don't know. It's just like
it doesn't really matter whether he just has a demon in his fucking closet or whether he is one. Because we don't know what the demon is or does.
I mean, is
What's
this
it
the
doing?
thing? I mean, is this the thing that's causing the hallucinations in the asylum?
Possibly. Do we know that? No.
I don't fucking know.
How does that interact with the glasses? Who the fuck knows? What the fuck are they doing with the random people in that room? Who the fuck knows?
Probably killing them, considering that there was viscera on the floor.
Why is that one person still alive then?
I don't fucking know. I don't fucking know, dude. They left us on a
Logic chains
cliffhanger.
here always leads to problems.
Well, obviously there's gonna be problems. Is this perfect? No. Is this a good setup, though? Yes. In my opinion, I think this is a good setup. But I don't know. I enjoy it. I enjoy it. It's spooky. My heart rate's up. I'm probably not gonna sleep tonight. Oops.
Yeah, sorry, just got to the fucky for a moment again.
Oh, lovely. Of course it went fucky.
Yeah, Discord latency sort of like that's a Discord side issue though. That's not me.
Yeah.